Test. Cool. Cool. Hello. All right, that should be good. I don't think you guys can see anything crazy or anything. Cool. Yeah, so I wanted to do this and I'll probably upload it to YouTube. Um, but as an artist, people want to understand your concept, your journey, things like that. Um, for me, I graduated from Tyler School of Art and Temple in 2012 with an art degree in digital media. And most recently, I tried to get back into school to get a certificate to teach. And the school out here, Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design, wanted me to take another 2.5 to 3 years of classes, which I just cannot afford to do. But prior to that, my entire life, I have been in sales. Um, I started working in sales at the age of 15. Um, Working at a local sporting goods store that was family owned and operated. That is probably where I learned my knack and niche for selling. My mentor at the time who helped me in learning how to sell, and I started off with sunglasses. His name was Peter. Really great guy. Had a lot of good times there and met a lot of really great people. Um, One of the earliest and most fun jobs I had, I think I made like 6.25 an hour. Um, Focused on art in high school a lot, as you were supposed to pick like a focus. Art was mine. I made it mainly the painting and drawing, and the art side it was either that or crafts, which I didn't really have any desire to do, like making mugs and ceramics. I think they're awesome, but I just wanted to paint and draw as much as possible. Um, when I graduated from high school, I attended Bloomsburg University first in Pennsylvania for a summer session in a year. um, while I was there, I was a marketing and business major and realized, marketing, I did well in the class, but marketing in general, anybody can really do it. It's just about the product and what you're selling, right? And I know at the time, Bloomsburg wanted the marketing students to take calculus. And at this time in my life, I had never even seen calculus. My high school had a terrible math program, it was integrated math. So math was always a struggle for me in high school and many of the other kids as well. But I went to Bloomsburg for a year, and there's where I found like, hey, I'd really like to go to college for something I love. And then I transferred to Tyler School of Art and graduated from there in January of 2012. During our senior thesis show, I was able to actually sell art because you were able to sell it. I actually sold a few pieces, which kind of inspired me like, hey, like I'm always the realistic art major and student who says, you do have to have a job at some point and you can't just make art all day and try to, grind on that unless you have the financial funds or, maybe you grow up and you have that luxury to do so. Um, but for me, my sales background was the thing that I knew that was always going to support me. I worked in retail from the age of 15 all the way till about 25, 26. Standing, obviously, with retail. I worked at several big box stores. And then from there, I worked in healthcare recruitment. Healthcare recruitment has its ups and downs. It comes in ebbs and flows and waves. But overall, I am grateful for the experience that I had within the companies that I worked for. I did learn a lot about myself and the people you work with, and, you know, in general, who really does like you potentially, like as a person, and not just looks at you as like a work person, and maybe make a facade or pretend to act a certain way, to look good to you or look good on paper, right? And building and taking time to build relationships with people while I was there, ups and downs, some great experiences, but the anxiety from it, the pressure after a while when the market crashed was just unrealistic. And I just started to get really burnt out of recruitment and tired of sales. um, that's been my entire life. And, recruitment is one thing, but I don't like the aspect of relying on other people to make your money. And lately, about a year ago, I suffered from being diagnosed with sciatica, which ended up turning out to be later down the road after doing 5 months of therapy It later turned out to be several herniated discs or several bulging discs, I'm sorry, and I was diagnosed with an L5S1 herniated disc disease. And the doctor told me it's not uncommon, when you're 65. Uh, so that has been one of the most upright struggles for me for the past 2 years. After I graduated, I moved to California, ended up finding my wife, and worked in healthcare sales. And then during COVID, we were able to work remote. This is when we decided to move to Colorado as an avid snowboarder and someone who uses cannabis for pain and anxiety. It was a no-brainer. We were able to afford a nice place here, and we decided to move here. California just started getting really crazy during that time, and I just wanted my wife to feel safe. We lived in an apartment complex, and during COVID, I just did not like being on top of people and close quarters. So we decided to move. We moved to Colorado. It has been great. I know my wife is not the biggest fan of it, and we do hope to move back to California. Um, the issue I have now is that my passion and desire to snowboard has always been there. I've been doing it since I've been 12. I get out here, have 2 great years, really enjoy the Rockies, not all of it, but Keystone, Breck, Copper, and Jet. Those are the ones that I was able to go to, and Vale as well. And after I one day stood up, I heard all the issues crack, I guess, and was in excruciating pain for a very long time. I am still suffering from this issue, and it's been extremely painful. It's affected my work, and being able to work a normal job. I went to Costco the other day. We drove the cart around in there for 20 minutes, and I was extremely sore by the time I came home. So, what do you do, right? I would like to get a part-time job in sales, but some people may look at me like, "Oh, he's too old, he's overqualified." But that's just what I'm passionate about. That's what I know. But my art is what's making me happy, and I feel like there's a very big importance for people in their lives to do what makes them happy, and not really think about all the money you can make. I did make good money in my life and my career, and I'm grateful for it. But money doesn't make you happy. People, relationships, friendships, your passions, things that put a smile on your face, music, friends, loved ones, whatever it may be. If you can tie those things in with your career or try to do something, that makes you happy, I think that's the biggest joy in life is just trying to find happiness. And you don't have to be wealthy to find happiness. Um, so I think that for me, like I started to do Twitch because, I love to game. These are things I'm passionate about. And I know people on here are the same way. Um, they share their passions from gaming, painting, whatever it may be, painting miniatures and, so on and so on. So that's why I've decided to, live paint for you guys. I do play other games as well, and I will try to stream different games. I play Shiv and a very wide variety of games. Rivals has been the big poppin' one for me lately, though, and I really enjoy that as I'm an avid Marvel fan, comic collector, and collector in general. So I'm a big collector as well. I collect comic books, I collect action figures, and I collect jerseys as well. But those are the things I'm passionate about, and those are the things that have pushed me to be like, hey, pursue art, and for me, for art, my general art has always been the concept of glitches and the distortion of the technology we use and how it breaks and corrupts because we're so reliant on it. And when it does those things, it creates really cool images. And my thesis has always been to what's the best way you can repaint those images. So I do that. I do a lot of comic and fan art stuff, that pays the bills sometimes and people buy it because they know what it is and they're familiar with it and they just want that familiar feeling. Art is selective, or excuse me, art is subjective and, the eye of the beholder. So I know some of the things I paint may not be for everyone. I do want to focus more on painting animals as I've gotten a lot of feedback from my cow now brown cow that I painted for my wife and created prints of. Um, my sister has always told me you're really good at painting fur. My cousin is also very good at painting animals too, and I do plan on painting more animals as well. As I have my little bear piece in the back over there, and then some of my original Batman pieces. So there's an art show coming up out here in March, and I'm gonna just bust my ass off and try to bust my ass off for the next, I think it's in April actually, March or April, and try to bust my ass off for the next, this month and try to make as much art as possible to create prints to really, put a dent out there and get my name out there. So this is going to follow my passions, but also my journey to as a professional artist and trying to grow that and make, more art and find, my style and my niche. And I think I'm very close to being there and figuring it out with a few different things, with abstract art as well as some of the animal stuff. So I hope this journey finds you guys well, and you watch and tune in. This is kind of weird for me to do. I didn't plan on doing something like this, but I was like, okay, well, some people just start streaming and really don't do anything, just like, oh, hey, I'm streaming here, blah, blah, blah. But just to let you guys know who I am, I wanted to do this and share this with you guys. But yeah, I got to try to set a schedule for you guys. So when I will be streaming and times during the week, so you can tune in whether I paint or game. I do plan on gaming at some point today. I may do it after this. So stay tuned. And I just wanted to share this with you guys. I appreciate you all for tuning in and hitting 20 followers, which I didn't think was even going to happen. So the next goal is 30. See if we can make that happen. And I appreciate everybody for checking my channel out, and I appreciate you. Thanks.